Yeah, intercultural wars. I'm still amazed by that video. I know, public gathering, stay home rules, blah, blah, all that, but still, it's so confronting. What is going on with the world and what is going on particularly with Victoria? I mean, joining me is Rowan Dean, author, columnist, editor of The Spectator Australian, presenter of Outsiders every Sunday on Sky at 9 a.m. Rowan, sum it up for me. Maybe I'm missing something here.
Andrew, my phone was running hot all afternoon with people throughout Australia absolutely horrified by that video. The video of a pregnant woman in her own home, in front of her children, on her way to an ultrasound, being arrested and handcuffed by masked police officers. This is a national day of shame. Victoria, you stand condemned in the eyes of the world. I don't care what your emergency laws are. I don't care what your lockdown special police think that they are doing. To arrest a pregnant woman for merely putting online her opinion and her desire to protest against the lockdown. We supposedly live in a free society. I'm horrified by this. I am calling on behalf of the woman and her family. I am saying to Scott Morrison, enough is enough. Step in now. Boot this clown Andrews out of the National Cabinet and tell the Victorians they're getting no more GST, they're getting no more Commonwealth funds until they stop this madness. Open the borders, which is illegal. It is against the Constitution for you to have your borders shut. Same goes for Queensland. It is against the federal Constitution. Scott Morrison, show some bloody leadership. Finally stand up and say we are not going to have pregnant women arrested in their own homes for posting online a legitimate political point of view, particularly, but not exclusively, when they're on their way to an ultrasound, Andrew. I am horrified on behalf of so many people across Australia.
I have to say this occurred on the day that the Victorian Parliament approved 6 more months of emergency powers that allowed police to go into that house without a warrant and do exactly what they did. I have to say, shame on every single politician that voted for those powers to give the state such extraordinary control over people. And to think that people on the left voted for this. People on the left who think, oh, look, we stand for freedom. We stand for the little guy, the little woman, we stand for them. We're not for oppressive fascist government. We're for freedom and individual rights and all that. Where the hell are they now, Rowan?
That's gone. Those days are gone. This is a classic textbook steps towards totalitarian government. We've been warning about this on this show, on other shows, on Outsiders, on radio programs and newspapers. People have been saying you cannot use this virus, and you've explained in great detail, Andrew, and many people around the world have explained that the virus does not warrant these extreme measures. The virus doesn't care whether Mrs. Kafoops goes to a park in Ballarat on Saturday or not. The virus does not care. The virus, what we should be doing is protecting those vulnerable people and looking at every possible means to do so, not restricting the fundamental basic rights of the people of Australia.
Well, I urge people to find out who voted for this. The Greens, Labor, the Reason Party, Fiona Patten backflipped, and I believe Darren Hinch's party. I need to check that, but I'm pretty sure. Write to them.
Disgraceful.
Send them a copy of this and said, you allowed this. You allowed this. You've given police power to do exactly this. I hope some of these guys get busted in their own homes just to give them a taste of what they have subjected others to. Rowan, it's hard to segue to something else, but let's do it. It's more than 200 years since British abolished slavery and actually fought to force African countries to do the same. And yet the chief librarian of the British Library says racism really is just a creation of white people. Rowan, is that actually remotely true?
No, it's not true. It's idiotic. It's idiotic beyond belief. And again, another institution crumbles in front of the madness, insanity of the left, of identity politics. British Museum, great, great institution, crumbling in front of our eyes. You may as well just stick a bulldozer through it. It is now worthless. It has been corrupted by the left, by identity politics, by neo-Marxists, and they are rewriting history. Racism is not an invention of any colour of person. Racism is a system, an insidious system whereby people judge others by the colour of their skin. All people of all colour, of every shade of colour since mankind began, have been judging others by the differences between people. And it is those differences, doesn't matter whether it's the colour of the eyes or the colour of the hair or the colour of the skin, it's the differences that have fuelled wars, that have fuelled division, that have fuelled tribalism throughout mankind's biological history.
I'd like you to explain to me the Rwandan civil war with the Hutus committing genocide against the Tutsis. You know, what the hell? What the hell? Where were the whites in that one? Meanwhile, talking about people using race, misusing race, so-called anti-racism protests in America still running amok, chasing now Trump supporters and their children down the street from a rally, shooting a Trump supporter they'd found in the street. You check the shooter in white in this next clip. And elsewhere in Portland, far-left Antifa protesters occupied the foyer of the building where the mayor lives to intimidate him. They lit a big fire on the street outside. They played rock music to keep him awake and fired fireworks at his window. In Wisconsin, President Trump has just toured the damage caused by race rioters in Kenosha, while in Los Angeles and New York, other protesters, Rowan, threatened to kill police. Have a listen.
People will take over.
I'm at the point where I'm ready to put these police in the grave. I'm at the point where I want to burn the White House down. I want to take it to the senators. I want to take it to the Congress.
Rowan, that's just from the last few days. Put it all together for me.
Well, Andrew, I thought you put it brilliantly together yesterday when you said this is America's second civil war and that's the way it's going. That's not hyperbole. That is the reality. It is being fuelled entirely by the left. The neo-Marxists, the anarchists and the Democrats, shame on them, are allowing this to happen, have been encouraging it to happen. And now that it's out of the bottle, the genie's out of the bottle, they're kind of looking at their polling figures and going, oh, maybe we shouldn't have gone quite this far with this, but it's too late. They have fuelled a civil war within the cities of America, and it is going to take strong leadership to bring this back to heel, and it is critical that Donald Trump wins this election. I believe he will win in a landslide because I think more and more people, the genuine, good-hearted, decent people of America, are looking on this in horror and will react in the ballot box.
The Democrats in the first Civil War backed the racists of the South. The Democrats in this Civil War are once again backing the race baiters here. Rowan Dean, thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you, Andrew.